You're listening to an audiobook from Empower. This is the book Dare to Start by author Manh Cuong. In the printed version, there are various calculation templates that are not included in this audiobook. Please support the author by purchasing the printed book through the link below in the description. Thank you. Milestone 1, Out of the Ordinary. In life, there are always two contrasting groups of people. There are always rich people, and there are always poor people. There are always smiling, friendly people, and also those who are difficult to approach. There are people who think with their minds, and others who prefer working with their hands. Some see a world filled with opportunities after watching the news, while others see only threats and danger. The fascinating thing is that these groups of people can drink the same water, live in the same political system, attend the same schools, have the same teachers, eat the same food, and sometimes even come from the same family. Most importantly, they all possess a crucial resource, 1.5 kilograms of brain. Yet the way they utilize this resource differs vastly, resulting in very different outcomes. Who you are in these two groups shapes your perspective on the future, the activities you choose each morning, your friends, your career, and ultimately your income. Recently, a young man told me, "I want to be a motorcycle mechanic." There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a motorcycle mechanic. It's an essential job that motorcycle owners rely on. But the real question is whether he truly wants to be a mechanic or if he thinks it's the only option he has. Did you know it takes 2 years of training to become a motorcycle mechanic? I could spend those 2 years learning various other skills. For example, I could learn online marketing, sales, real estate brokerage, content writing, graphic design, video editing, or even become a personal trainer specializing in weight loss. This path might lead to a more dynamic work environment, a higher income, and perhaps even lower training costs than motorcycle repair school. Of course, if someone genuinely loves fixing motorcycles and anticipates a growing demand in their area, they could definitely succeed and earn a good income. But that's very different from choosing a career simply out of ignorance of better options or due to limitations they feel incapable of overcoming. You might say, "But I don't fit in. I'm not used to it. I don't have the right mindset. How can I do those things?" Do you know why you feel that way? That's exactly what I'm here to discuss. Your thinking is limiting you. You might have inherited these limitations from your parents and now they're holding you back. You can learn anything if you truly want to. A young woman from a low-income family once came to me for advice. She has a beautiful voice, a friendly smile, and loves children, but she was selling powdered milk with the lowest possible salary. I told her, "You could absolutely become a vocal teacher. Start introducing yourself as someone who knows music, loves children, and will be opening singing classes for kids next month." I guided her on enhancing her skills, marketing herself, launching her first class, and doubling her income within 6 to 12 months while working fewer hours. She was thrilled, beaming with excitement. For a moment, I believed I had changed her life. But the next day, she told me, "I'm not going to do it." Why? My father said I wouldn't be able to. I am certain her father had heard her sing and felt proud of her voice. However, he saw limitations while I saw potential. Sadly, his invisible limitations had restricted his life, and he was now unknowingly passing down the legacy of poverty to his daughter, who embraced it as her own. What's even more concerning is that we tend to surround ourselves with people who reinforce our beliefs. We seek out people who make us feel accepted, safe, and understood. This leads us to create communities where we can say, "I belong." Negative people will seek out shooting the breeze communities to raise their criticism flag. Short thinkers use a limited vocabulary they understand and call it reality. That's precisely why their income remains low and they lack a financial reserve. Since this is a book about business, most business aspects need to be evaluated in terms of monetary value. So let's measure your mindset by your income. Rarely do people's wallets grow larger than their minds. What happens if someone wins the lottery or inherits a large sum of money before they have the mindset to control and manage it? In a short time, that money will likely disappear, finding its way to someone who knows how to manage it, and their financial situation will reset. Change your mindset, change your income. What's the first step in changing your mindset? What I'm about to share is hard, very hard. Many people want a different life, but are unwilling to change, so they continue to get what they've always gotten by doing what they've always done. Do you want to change? Congratulations. You didn't put this book down, you moved forward, and you're ready. The answer can be found in the Bible. Leave your people and leave your father's house. Genesis 12:1. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Your income is also the average of the incomes of the 10 people you spend the most time with." I completely agree with Jim's statement and can confirm it from my own experience. Your life can transform when you spend time with people who are better, more positive, and more proactive than you, and allow them to influence your life. Oh, but they may not accept me as a friend. That's true. If you don't change yourself, your language, habits, and behavior, those people won't consider you as a friend. What do people in negative communities usually do with their spare time? Watch TV and make negative comments about society? Meanwhile, active people dedicate time to reading, self-improvement courses, and developing their life outlook. They equip themselves with strategic tools for growth. When faced with failure, negative people often think it's the end, and that misery will haunt them. Positive people, however, see failure as part of a journey, with highs and lows on the road to success. I used to have a close friend I'll call Satisfied. He was funny, creative, and I enjoyed his company because he could piece together unrelated ideas in unique ways. But we had a problem. We were both very poor. Since we became friends, I felt I'd gained a new nickname, as together we were the unsatisfied pair. Once I realized that my income was directly related to my mindset, I started observing those around me and saw that Satisfied and I were stuck in the habit of sharing pointless stories, commenting on the world, and complaining about daily problems. We constantly felt like victims or minor characters in a movie directed by some malicious director working with an evil screenwriter to make our lives tragic. We have to change. Satisfied didn't understand what I was saying. I tried explaining why we needed to shift our language and thinking. I had been reading, learning, and meeting new people who taught me fresh perspectives. I tried to bring Satisfied along on my journey, but his influence over me was greater than mine over him each time we met. Let's go eat hot pot Cuong. One afternoon, Satisfied called me again. I craved social interaction, but I hated the feeling of disappointment I felt afterward. I valued Satisfied as a friend, but I knew I had to make a change in my life. I needed to change for my wife, my children's future, and my life mission. I was not sure what it was, but I knew I had to figure it out by any means possible. I had to say no and take a break, avoiding Satisfied until the new habit tree I had planted was strong enough to withstand the storm of negative words. I have to be the main character in my own life drama. I have to make a decision right now. It has been 6 years since I last saw Satisfied. We only shared a hot pot meal once recently. I care for Satisfied and his wife, but our conversation barely lasted through half a chicken. We no longer understood each other. His ideas made no sense to me, and I couldn't understand why global issues weighed so heavily on him. Meanwhile, my stories seemed like a foreign language to him. Satisfied and his wife were visibly unhappy. They hadn't finished their meal before they were ready to argue right in front of me, triggered by his job instability and erratic income. I chose not to offer advice to avoid tension. Instead, I silently prayed that one day, Satisfied would realize the change in my life over the years. It's essential to recognize which group you belong to. However, deciding which group you will belong to from this point forward is even more critical. If you want to be part of a positive group, don't let negative influences affect you. If you aspire to be an entrepreneur, don't let others with limited perspectives tarnish your entrepreneurial mindset. Develop new habits. Take responsibility instead of blaming others. Show gratitude instead of criticism. Take notes and examine things rather than acting impulsively. You might say, "I'm not used to taking notes," but if you want something badly enough, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find countless excuses. You control your environment. If it's holding you back, leave your people and leave your father's house. Seek new communities with people who have a growth mindset to shape a brighter future. What matters most in business? Is it capital, product quality, marketing, customer access, or customer care? These are all crucial, but the most important factor is your thinking. Find an environment that nurtures and protects your mindset. In the next section, I've titled each section as a milestone. I'll show you how to cultivate new roots in your mindset tree. Every day, I receive many questions, and nearly half are about managing finances effectively. Do you know my answer? I say to most, take notes. Because if you don't know how to track your income and expenses, you'll never be able to master financial management. Money is a wonderful servant. It carefully chooses its owner, only visiting and staying with those who know how to manage it. Record what you learn in each chapter in a notebook. It will be invaluable to you after crushing this book. Summary. 1. Leave your people and leave your father's house. Genesis 12, verse 1, EEV version. Recognizing the group you belong to is less crucial than choosing the group you'll align with moving forward. 2. Take the lead role in the play of your life. Find an environment that nurtures and safeguards the development of your thinking. 2 actions to take right now. 1. List the people who negatively impact your life and create a plan to reduce contact with them. 2. Identify and join communities that will positively influence your future.